Okay. So you will get to know what are the commands available and what are things you need to try. Just give any wrong option or just question mark, it will give you all the information. Okay. Command line clear, right? So, but there's 5 commands, no, minus n, minus t, minus l, minus j. You should be remember. So anytime you just give the commands and run it. Okay. So now let's go to the CSV file. Okay. So why we have to CSV in the JMeter and what is the uses of the file? The first uses is the logins or the data. So whenever if you see here, this is login. Okay. So right now if you see we are passing username and password. But if you want to run with 100 or 1000 with the same script, what happens? All 100 or 1000 times it will be the same username password. Correct. So it means from the server, the loop would be like only one user is keep on logging into the application. And if the server side, if they enable cache or if they enable like frequent logins, and it won't be like a real time load test. So in the real time, how we are passing different users, so you have to do also same thing here. So how will pass? Suppose I have 100 username password. How can I pass? I can't pass here. Like let's log into user one, like next user to user. I can't do like that, right? That's where we use a CSV file. So JMeter is helping with integration of CSV file to load the data like any number of records, to be 1 lakh, 2 lakh, whatever it is there. Okay. The first thing is you have to prepare the CSV. Let's go to the CSV. Okay, I already prepared the CSV. Let me open this. So my Microsoft Office is not installed here. That's why I'm opening with text. Okay. So in the CSV, right, you will define like this: the username, the password, and what are the fields you required with the comma separated. I mean the CSV, right? The headers, I mean the columns and rows. And in each column, you will define the header, and the rows you will define the data. So here I have here 10 usernames and 10 passwords. Ignore other fields as of now. Okay. So we have 2 columns. First column is username and second column is password. And in these 2 columns, I have 10 rows, which represents user 1 password, user 2 username password, user 3 username password. Okay. So this is a comma separated. It should be .csv. Okay. So now once you prepare the CSV file, so from where will you get to the CSV file? I mean, where will you get the users? 1 or 2 users means you will get from a team or yourself. But whenever go higher load, right? You should get this more data from your developers, or you have to write a script again to get this username and passwords. I mean, to set a we have register API, right? Assume that. So we'll do a load test on register API and we'll pass the same set of data and we'll register in the server and we'll use the same data as a inputs. Otherwise, a developer will create you, or otherwise they'll take that from the DB and they can share it to you. If you are running with 1 lakh users, you need 1 lakh username and 1 lakh password. Okay. Otherwise, if it is not repetitive or if it is like session based, then you can use a limited and it will keep on getting every new session ID. So whatever your application requires, right? Based on that, you have to collect the data. So once you prepare with your CSV file, let's go to JMeter and right click on thread group, add config element, CSV dataset config. CSV dataset config. This is the name itself is CSV. And why you're going for config element? Because all these things will be in the config settings, right? Before of the script, it has to do everything. Okay. CSV dataset config. Just click on this. So when you click on this, right, it added to the end and you see it open like this. So the first thing is the file name. So wherever you kept the CSV, right? So you just load that file. Let me go to the browse and added in this one. So I will add this open. Okay. Next, file uncoding you can leave like that. And third column, variable names. See, you have that in our CSV. And how JMeter will know where to look, how to look? The mapping should be there, right? So that mapping will be done by here, the variable names.
Okay.
So you have two options again. If you don't want to use variable names in JMeter, I mean, if you don't want to use the variable names, if you don't want to write the variable names here, I mean, you have like a lot of fields, it heading to write, then you can leave this blank and make sure you have header here, header. So this header will automatically take as mapping. Okay, let's try to first there. Let's try to first in the CSV config. Let's write variable name, username. You can write here any name, no spaces, password. So what does it mean? This first username will take the data first column. It won't take any header. If you define the header here, it will take first column of data, and password table second column of data, irrespective of whatever header name is. You can put A, B, C, whatever it is. If you write the headers here, the first column will be under this, second column will be under this. Okay, now ignore first line. So we need to ignore it, right? Because we have headers there. It's not data, na? The first line. This is not data, right? These are headers. So we need to ignore it. So go to config and ignore it to be true. Okay. So for the first thing, just load the file and give your variable names, and this will be a mapping. So now the mapping is done. So we need to use these variables inside our script, right?
Yeah.
So what we'll do, simply copy it and wherever required, and go to here and dollar curly braces username. Same again, password, dollar curly brace password. This we define CSV variables now. So whatever you defined here, you will pass into your script. So that's where how mapping will done. Okay, so let me add a user tree here to monitor it closely. Okay, instead of checking in all other results. Okay, let's run with only 3 users first. And let's see whether it is taking 3 different usernames or not. Okay, let's run. Let's take 28. You can let's go to request. Now see Ravi T1, first user. And go to second one, Ravi T2 and Ravi T3. See, it took 3 different usernames and passwords and it passed it to here. And we did a correlation, right? The correlation will automatically happen for each and every user. Starting with discussion of correlation. So you don't have to worry, it will happen for every single user. Okay. Clear, right? How we are doing simply. We added the file and we defined the variable names. And if there is no header, we'll keep a false. If we have header, keep it true and execute it. Clear, right?
Yeah.
The basic one. But in the real time, there could be chances that you have more rows in a CSV and it's giving a less number of users here. Or if you give more number of users and you have less rows in the CSV, correct? So in that case, what will happen? There could be chances, right? If you can't give, like, if there are 100 rows, I can't run with 100. I could be have more users or less records. I need to give, suppose here, say my requirement is 10 users and I have 100 rows. So what I will do, I will take only 10 because I want to run 10 users, right? Say if you have 100 users and you have 10 records, so then we have to use existing records only.
Okay.
Correct. So that, how should that happen? That cycle.
First, then again it will take.
Hmm?
First, it will take 1 to 10, and again it will repeat the same.
So that's we have to tell to J meter, na? We have to tell whether just repeat it or skip it. So that's where you will have the two options: recycle on EOF, stop thread on EOF.
Okay.
EOF means end of the file. So whenever our execution reaches end of the file, means it reaches the end of the CSV file. What you have to do? Correct. So let's see these two options. Okay, let's take a CSV file. Let me take Excel to understand how we better should use. So now, see, suppose let's take, we have two options: recycle on EOF, and we have stop thread on EOF. These two are very important because whenever you have more things, right, you have to understand how your script should work. Okay, so let's give sorry, let's put see if let's take the output. I mean, based on these two conditions, what is the output? Suppose then the first case, right? I have 10 users and only 5 records in the 5 rows in the CSV. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So then if I give true, recycle to F and stop thread and true both. So what it means, whenever you reach end of the file, suppose here given to n users, right? So 5 rows will be consumed by definitely. Correct. So it will reach end of the file for the second user. It will reach right end of the row after 5 user, correct?
Yeah.
So now what I given that recycle eval is true. It means repeat the users. I mean repeat the row. So whenever it reached the end of the file and it has more users to run, in that case it says recycle is true. So it will repeat the existing rows only. And what I given here, stop thread on EOF means saying that whenever reach under the file, stop the script.
Yeah.
So both are contradictory statements, right? So which one will be take? So it will take recycle only. Even though you are saying stop thread as a true, the priority will be the recycle because you have more number of users.
Okay.
Same way. Now let's give true, false. Means whenever you have more excess number of records, excess number of users, sometimes saying repeat the users and don't stop. So obviously it will go recycle only, na? Because no one is stopping it.
Yeah.
Let's give recycle is false. And stop thread is true. So what I'm saying, whenever there is access, don't recycle it. Recycle is false, right? So don't recycle it. And stop thread is true. So it is a like both are proper statements. So your script will be stopped. When in this case, your script will stop, even though you have access users, whatever it is there, it won't run. The script will stop. See, in this case, right, what happens? I have given 5 rows, 5 users. Na? So first 5 users will take 5 rows. So now 6 users is waiting. So now I given false, means there is no repetitive. So and given it true. So it will stop with the 5 users only. It won't run other 5 user text.
Okay.
Okay. Now again. So what is the last option? False, false. What I'm saying? Don't recycle. At the same time, I'm not telling you don't stop. So what it will do? It has to run with other 5. But I said that don't recycle, right? So what it will do now? Other 5, it will run with the EOF field. It will run with a name as EOF, and it will server will fail it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see these 4 conditions now. See, these will only come whenever you have more users and less rows. Otherwise, it is normal only, na? 5 users, 10 rows means you have rows according to the user, so you don't have to worry. So this will come whenever you have less rows and more number of users. Okay, let's see one by one. So we have how many rows we have? 10 rows we have, right? So let's give 15. Then only we can see, na? We have 15 users, but we have 10 records in CSV. So first 10, it will take 10 records. Now what about the 5? Correct. So let's go to CSV. And I said true and false. So what does it mean? Let's put the first condition true, true. So whether we both are true, true, the priority will be recycled. So it will repeat the 5 users with the existing data.
It's 5 users.
Okay, now let's see. So let's click on this here so that we can see. Let's go to 28. So Ravi T2, Ravi 3, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, let's put 28. See again, it passing 1, 2, 3. See? If you take the user, you can see 13th user. Correct, 28. See 2 again. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See 5 got extra. Repeated. Okay. Clear, right? So it's simply repeated. Now what will happen if you give true, false? Obviously same will happen. Priority will be recycled. And it will repeat it. Because whenever the true here, at the time also priority is recycled. Whenever the false, obviously the priority will be go to recycle only. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see other condition. Third one. False, true. What does it mean? Whenever you have 15 users in your data, users and 10 rows in your CSV, now till 10 it will work. Fine. Now it reaches end of the file. Correct. So now what I'm saying, when you reach end of the file, don't repeat. Don't recycle.
Only for 10 users.
Only for 10. But same time, I'm telling to stop the thread. So it will wait for other 5, right? What it has to do. But I'm saying the true. Means when you reach end of the file, stop the script. So if you give 100 users and have only one record in CSV, so it will run only for 1 user. So now let's see. So we got 15 by 15 right here. Now let's see. It will show 10 by 15. See, 10 by 15 only, because it stopped the test. See, understood, right? Because the other 5 users now I asked them to stop the test, so it didn't execute it. Okay, now last condition, false, false. What does it mean, false, false? I'm telling you, don't repeat and don't stop. Correct. So what will happen? So it will has to run, but it can't use the data. So it will run with EOF data. So first time it will work properly, and if take next one, right? 20. So you see EOF is there. So obviously it will fail. See other 5, right? It will pass EOF. Instead of WT9, it will pass EOF. Because I'm telling you, don't use the recycle and don't stop. So it has to run. So it'll run with this blank values, EOF value. Okay? It's clear, right? These two fields.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it is CSV. Now CSV is nothing but comma separated. Suppose you have had address field. I have some field where you have to pass like address 1, road / Bangalore or 2, road / Bangalore. Assume that. But whenever you do like this now, when you run our script, it will take only first as address. It won't take complete one as address because this is comma, right? So this Bangalore will go to the next field, next column. Even though you given here 5 columns, this will go to the next column because it's comma separated. Even though you write here 1, road, Bangalore, but it will take that as a 3 columns only. One is 1 column, road is 1 column, Bangalore is 1 column. Because it's comma separated. It always separate the data by comma. So in that case, now if you want to use these 3 together in one field, so you have to use yellow quoted data. Yellow quoted data, make it true and put your data in double quotes. See, this is a text file display like this, but in the real, it will display like suppose 1/road number Bangalore. So in the CSV now you will define like this. Instead of leaving empty, you put a double quote. That's it. So this has one field now. But whenever you don't define double quotes, it will take these are 3 fields. Okay, so when you keep these double quotes and you want to make this as one single entry, in that case you have to select yellow quoted data true.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how CSV file we will be using. It's clear, right? It should be CSV and give the variable names and put based on true or false, and based on our condition you just give false, true, whatever is required and run it. And advantage of CSV is suppose you have some 10 APIs in your script, and obviously how to pass different data, right? So in the CSV we'll keep all our columns here. Suppose all 10 columns in one single file, and we'll call it to wherever is required. It's not like that each API should have each CSV. Maintain one CSV and use throughout our script. So wherever required, wherever data for each user. So here each row represents for one user. This is first user data, the second user data, like that. Okay, it's clear, right? CSV. Yep. Okay, so we'll connect tomorrow.
Okay.
So bye guys.
Bye.